2024 marked the end of my 5th year day trading, so in this video I'm going to recap what I struggled with, what I've improved upon, and how much I made or lost, and why I'm quitting day trading. I'm just kidding, I'm not leaving. To bring you up to speed, I started off trading options in February of 2020. I made a lot of money in the March 2020 crash, turning a few thousand into tens of thousands, but I knew I got lucky and withdrew some of that money to my bank account. I did end up giving some of the remaining amount in my brokerage account back over the rest of the year, and in 2021, I full ported into GameStop.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of the day on Wednesday. I just sold 100 shares, which now takes everything I spent on my initial 650 shares off the table. So now I'm just playing with free money here.
Scaled out for another large bag.
Overall, my net profit on this GameStop trade was $128,492.
And around that time, I discovered futures trading.
So this challenge has been a spectacular failure.
Futures is a completely different beast from stocks and options, but I really liked it. After dabbling between equities, options, and futures, I decided to focus entirely on futures in the summer of 2022. I spent most of 2023 trying to pass the Top Step Combine to become a funded trader, and I documented it all in a 3-part series on my channel if you want to watch the struggle. 2024 got off to a strong start for me. I was trading a $150K funded account from Top Step, and I did a great job building up my balance. And on February 2nd, I requested my first payout of $2,000, which after the struggle I went through the year before felt like a huge accomplishment. I got the payout within 24 hours straight to my bank, which was awesome. And I kept the momentum going, and 17 days later, I requested a second payout of $2,000. Then, 3 days later, I had a $3,000 red day. I got overconfident in a short setup. I added to the position before I got enough confirmation in my direction. I then got stopped out, but was still married to this short setup idea, so I tried again, larger size, and stopped out yet again. After that, I just couldn't get things back on track, and I put in 4 more consecutive red days and blew the account entirely. So the good part was, well, I did get paid out twice. I also took the account from negative $811 all the way up to $9,600, not accounting for the $4K in payouts, and I also kept the XFA alive for 31 days, which is pretty decent too. So while I was glad I finally got a couple of payouts, I was bummed that I crashed and burned so spectacularly. Other than adding too much size to a position, especially before I had that confirmation, one of the big issues I struggled with was letting my trades play out. I was trying to find the right way to adjust my stop once a trade starts moving in my direction, but oftentimes I was stopped out at break even before the trade ran to my target. I even printed off marked up charts and taped them up to my monitor. I really wanted to be able to trust my setups. And I think one thing made it challenging to do so: size. Trading one mini NASDAQ contract with a few $1,000s of drawdown is large size, and a couple of 20-point stop outs will put you in the red $800 really fast. So anytime I'm oversized, my brain is telling me to remove that discomfort, which is why there's that temptation to move to break even. All right, I did get about 20 points down in my direction, so I moved my stop to break even. But the fact of the matter is, when you are scalping the NASDAQ, there's gonna be some noise, there's gonna be some retracement, and if you wanna catch the bigger move, you need to let the trade breathe. So sizing down can really help manage the trade properly. If I was in a long with 2 micro contracts instead of 1 mini, I'm not really stressing every single movement. I feel much more comfortable letting the trade play out either to my stop or to my target. Now, after the XFA fund ended, I took my $4,000 payout and $1,000 of savings and opened a $5,000 personal account with EdgeClear. I think trading both personal and funded accounts is a great way to go about it. In March, I started live streaming right here on this channel. Welcome to the stream with my personal account. And here's something important that came up in my very first live stream of the year. Jump out, the downside is greater than the upside. You know, there's something to be said for entering a trade, setting your take profit and your stop loss, letting it run, and then it hitting your take profit. That is a great feeling when that happens. And it's okay to trust yourself, and it gives you confidence in your analysis when you do that. So yeah, I'm holding for like what, $140 right now. But what that does for me is say, hey, your analysis is good. You can trust yourself. So your green days will start to get bigger when you do that. And for me, that is important. Like, let's say it was the opposite. Let's say my stop loss was here and my take profit's down here. I would still hold this trade probably, until it hits my stop. So why would I not hold it until it hits my take profit? Holding to my targets has been something I've improved upon. And there, boom. Target acquired. Risk to reward is meaningless if you aren't getting the planned reward for the trade. Sure, sometimes targets don't get hit and I trail with my stop loss and get less than planned, but being more patient in the trade has been really key for increasing the size of my green days. I traded my personal account for a bit, and then I tried another funding firm, trading 10 funded accounts. I built those accounts up bit by bit. Once I hit a balance of $52,600 per account, I plan to take a $2,000 withdrawal per account for a total of $20,000. And while on a live stream with Pete from One Option, I entered a short and hit the required balance. I'm in short, Pete. So we did hit VWAP. That was like my first inclination to take some of the trade off. And now we're bouncing off of it. I moved myself to break even. Yeah. So one thing that's going through my mind, Pete, is, you know, I'm trading with these funding firms, and this particular one requires you to make $2,600 in profit before, you know, and then you can take a first payout. And so I'm right here, right now, on this open unrealized profit. I'm at $2,600 in profit on a couple of these. They're, you know, a few lagging behind with the trade copier. So part of me just wants to take it off and secure the bag, you know. But the other part of me just wants to let it play out a little bit. I'm already protected, so I can just watch with no stress, really. Hindsight says take profit at VWAP and get paid. I ended up stopping out at break even instead, and I never got my balance back over 52,600. Talk about fumbling the bag. This one still haunts me. Now, I really dislike intraday trailing drawdown, and 10 accounts gets pretty expensive if you aren't getting payouts. So after all that, I went back to Top Step. While grinding away in Top Step, I also continued trading on my personal account. On August 1st, I opened a short with 2 micros on the evening reopen of futures. By the way, I do have a trading Discord. The link is below if you want to join. It's 100% free. Shorted 962. My stop's at 926. So I'll grab, you know, what is that? 36 points or whatever if I get stopped out. Target right now is 18,000. I mean, that's not a real target or anything. I know I wanted to swing it, so I just threw a target down there. Currently, I'm up $1,700 in the trade on 2 micros. So obviously, that's a lot for 2 micros. That's a monster short. That's currently 409.68. That's 440 points short, just from Globex. Imagine if you had 2 minis. Exactly, I know. If I had 2 minis, that's $17,000. I'm considering closing it because I'd be very pleased with it. I could also look back, you know, next week and be like, can you guys believe I closed that short? You know, if we continue moving down, it's kind of a gamble though to hold over the weekend. So I ended up closing out later that morning for 373 points, making it the largest trade in points that I've ever done. That to me was a huge accomplishment. The scalping mindset can work great, but other times letting the trade ride will make you so much more money. And it was really easy to do so trading just 2 micro contracts. That was about $1,500 profit on a $3,500 account. Now, it would have been really wild had I held over the weekend as the market continued selling off and my not real target of 18,000 hit. Can you guys believe I closed that short? That would have been a 962 point trade, but hey, that's hindsight talking. Then in September, I broke that personal record with another large trade. So today is FOMC day, and we ended up sweeping lows and right into a demand zone I had marked in my chart. I don't always buy demand zones, but I like that combination with the sweep of the low. I liked where VIX was at, and so I decided to trade 2 micros on NASDAQ, and I went long at 19,584. Now, it's about 10 p.m. my time. I'm up about 160 points on it, which is close to $1,000. That's a massive return on this account. I don't normally swing trade futures. It's pretty freaking risky. My plan is to hold this trade into open tomorrow. I'm hoping I can diamond hand this. I do have my stop set to break even, so it's a free trade, and it could be a really massive trade. I would like to take profit around 19,900. Or potentially 20,000 if we have a nice bullish run tomorrow. So that's the plan. I'll let you know how it goes. Okay, as I mentioned, I was planning on holding this into open today, but the market just absolutely ripped overnight. And by the time I woke up, checked the chart, target acquired. So I front ran my 20K target by 10 points. So my actual exit was 19,990. And that makes it my biggest futures trade ever. Not money-wise, but point-wise. It was 404 points or so, something like that. So that was just a monster trade, felt really good. Again, both large trades were on 2 micros. And of course I imagine, oh, what if I took the trade on 1 mini or 2 minis? That's $16,000. But would I wake up in the middle of the night and check on the trade and probably mess it up with my stop loss? Yeah, probably. How would I handle a 150 point pullback? The two factors that really helped me with these big trades are 1, the entry. I had really great entries on both of them, and 2, the size. Not to sound like a broken record, but I'm not sweating a stop out with 2 micros, nor am I freaking out when I'm up 200 points. I'm just letting it work. Meanwhile, I did pass some more top step combines. I got a few 50K funded accounts and a 150K funded account. However, I struggled taking my own advice, trading small. I blew those pretty quick without payouts. I did take 2 withdrawals from my personal account, one for $2,000 and one for $1,500. So it was still nice to pay myself from trading. It is one of the best feelings there is. 2024 ended up being a bit disappointing for me. I did have higher expectations for myself and fell way short of those. I spent just under $12,000 with the funding firms in 2024, and while I was just one trade away from securing a nice $20,000 payout, which would push me green on the year, I only got $4,000 in payouts from Top Step. And while I had some success on my personal account, I'm still left in the red about $5,000. It's a bit of a bummer. I'd much rather not tell you that, but that's just the way it went. Now, how about the good news? Well, I do believe I saw a lot of growth as a trader in 2024. I trust my trades more. I am pretty good about letting my targets get hit. My ability to read price action has grown a lot from where I was last winter. I'm really optimistic about my progress as a trader. The number one thing that I need to work on though is discipline. I find myself gravitating toward trading one mini on NASDAQ, and that can be dangerous. As I mentioned several times throughout this video, some of my best trades happen when I'm in with small size. I also do get thrown on tilt from time to time and rack up an oversized red day. So I need to develop stricter rules about when to call it a day. I need to get better at accepting red days instead of trying to trade myself out of a hole. And some days I just shouldn't trade at all. Just fixing one of these issues would make a massive difference in my P&L, and improving all of them, well, that will really start to open things up for me. I really try to focus on the process, one good trade at a time. I know the money will be a byproduct of all of that. Now in 2025, I'm trading 4 50K XFA accounts on Top Step. My goal is to build up the balance to $2,000 before taking a small payout across all 4. If you want, come join me live every weekday for the first 2 hours of the New York Open here on YouTube. And if you want to become a funded trader with Top Step, the link is in the description. And also come hang out in my Discord and connect with other traders, also linked below. I'll see you in the next one.